If you're a health and wellness girly on a mission, this video is for you. We're going to be comparing cottage cheese to 0% fat Greek yogurt, and you are going to learn exactly which one has more protein and less calories, which one is ideal for metabolic health, and which one has more vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that are going to boost your antioxidant system, increase skin health, and just keep your body in tip-top shape. When we talk about physique, fat loss, metabolic health, or muscle growth, calories and protein are very important. As much as we like to think calories don't really matter that much when you're eating a clean, nutrient-dense diet, honestly, at the end of the day, you cannot escape physics, you cannot escape thermodynamics. Calories are very important, especially when it comes to the context of hitting your physique goals. Firstly, your body cannot just invent fat out of nothing. Fat represents stored energy, so if you eat too many calories for too long, you will see your body fat increase. This is literally your body taking energy, calories, from all the food that you're eating, understanding that it is in a surplus. This is excess, this is extra calories, extra energy, and turning it into the body fat that you store around your waist. Turning the excess calories into triglycerides and storing those triglycerides inside of fat cells, inside of your fat tissue. Triglycerides stored in adipose cells, adipocytes in your adipose tissue. And of course, the reverse is also true. If you eat too little for too long, less calories are coming in than the energy that your body is burning through. Inevitably, you will see weight loss. This is because the energy that your body is burning has to come from somewhere. If you are not eating, if your diet is not matched in calories for the calories that you're burning, well, your body stores body fat for a reason. Ideally, you will start to burn through that body fat and you will experience fat loss and healthy weight loss. But what the problem is when we are in too extreme of a calorie deficit, or a calorie deficit done wrong, like just poorly planned calorie deficit, a lot of the tissue that we can end up losing is muscle mass. If you are on a weight loss journey, if you are on a calorie deficit diet, you want to be so careful that you make sure that the weight you are losing is actually from body fat and not from muscle mass. When you are losing muscle mass, you are actually damaging metabolic health because this muscle is metabolically active. Muscle is a sink for glucose. It pulls glucose out of the blood and it uses that glucose to synthesize muscle glycogen, a storage form of sugar in your muscles that helps keep your muscles powered, energized, and healthy. Muscle is also protective over metabolic health because it just takes more resources to maintain. This kind of means that if you have more lean, healthy, strong muscle mass, you can get away with eating a few more calories or a little bit more sugar because it actually needs and wants that energy to stay healthy. Fat tissue is a little dormant, and especially when you have too much fat tissue. Having too much body fat can increase insulin resistance, and having too much body fat can actually end up secreting pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are deleterious to health. It's not good for health. So that is why it is so important to have a clean, well-structured diet, and that is literally what Macro Bestie is doing for you. Let's get into all the health and nutrition data. Which one has more protein per calorie? Cottage cheese or 0% fat Greek yogurt? 100 calories of 0% fat Greek yogurt has 17 grams of protein. 100 calories of cottage cheese also has 17 grams of protein. However, what's very interesting is that not all foods are created equal. And because of the food processing methods that are used to create Greek yogurt and to create cottage cheese, Greek yogurt actually has more whey protein and cottage cheese is higher in casein protein, and this is a critical difference. Because of the way that cottage cheese is made, it is really higher in casein, and this keeps you fuller longer. Because of the way that Greek yogurt is made, Greek yogurt actually has more whey protein, and this whey protein is a fast protein. This literally means that whey protein is very quickly digested and it creates a rapid spike in blood amino acid. So Greek yogurt is not going to keep you as full as long. It's less satiating, but it is better for quickly spiking your blood amino acids, and it's a better post-workout option because it helps stimulate that muscle protein synthesis and it helps stimulate that anabolic response. Cottage cheese, on the other hand, because it is higher in casein protein, it takes longer to digest and it keeps you fuller longer. So Greek yogurt, you want to hit that up as soon as you're finished your workout. Cottage cheese, this is really going to help you out if you are on a cut or if you are on a calorie deficit diet, because it's going to help you hit your protein goals, but it's also going to help you feel fuller longer and help reduce hunger. But let's be realistic here, 17 grams of protein is not sufficient if you do really want to increase lean, healthy, metabolically active muscle mass. Also, who wants to be stuck eating like the little teeniest little amount of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt? That's not what I expect you to do. That is definitely not what I do myself, and that is not what you will be getting in Macro Bestie. What I actually do personally, I will buy the whole entire thing of cottage cheese. It's a 400 gram serving, and I will eat the whole entire thing. It is so good. I like to blend it in the blender, whip it up, and like dip my strawberries in it. It is so delicious. And now that we know that 100 calories of Greek yogurt and cottage cheese both has 17 grams of protein, let's compare it per 300 calories. 300 calories of 0% fat Greek yogurt has 51 grams of protein. 300 calories of cottage cheese also has 51 grams of protein. And this is an excellent amount of protein if you want to stimulate that anabolic response of building and recovering your healthy muscle. And of course, calories are not everything. So what calories are really good at doing is informing your weight, but calories are not the be all and end all at informing physique, energy, health, and to actually like just feel good and have energy. Calories will determine your physique, but they will not ultimately determine your health. This is why it is so important that what you are eating is not only controlled for in calories and macros, but it is also clean, healthy, and rich in nutrients. So let's compare the actual health and nutrient quality of cottage cheese to Greek yogurt. We have a Greek recipe, a Greek yogurt recipe for you here and a cottage cheese recipe for you here. Both of these recipes call for 210 grams of either Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. We are going to compare the nutrient content of both of these recipes so you will know exactly which one has more minerals, vitamins, and nutrients. Cottage cheese has 34% of your daily selenium. Greek yogurt has only 7%. Selenium, we did also talk about that in our steak versus chicken video, but we didn't go over selenium's role in thyroid health. Basically, you have two forms of thyroid hormone, T3 and T4. T4 is kind of dormant and T3 is your active thyroid hormone. But to get from T4 to T3, you need to chop off an iodine atom, and you cannot do that unless you have selenium present. And that is why if you are deficient in selenium, you can see issues in metabolic health such as metabolic slowing, weight gain, or low thyroid hormone, low T3. Both cottage cheese and Greek yogurt do contain some selenium because they are from dairy, but the selenium content is also very heavily influenced by processing method. And then of course, was the cow that made the milk actually healthy? So what I do personally, and this is my very most favorite way to enjoy cottage cheese and enjoy Greek yogurt. And by the way, this Greek yogurt recipe is in Macro Bestie under the dessert section. I get 0% fat Greek yogurt and then I mix it up with cacao powder. I add cinnamon and like the teeniest little bit of vanilla stevia. So it's a 0 sugar recipe. Not gonna spike your blood sugar, and there's There's no sugar. It can't spike your blood sugar. How can something spike your blood sugar if there is no sugar? But this recipe is rich in protein. It's rich in whey protein, so you know it's gonna help stimulate that anabolic muscle protein synthetic response. It's low in calories and it is nutrient dense. And that recipe is in the petite little dessert section of Macro Bestie at the very end of the book. So if you loved this video, let me know in the comments what you want to see next, what you want to see more of, and head on over to nutritionbyelsa.com and get Macro Bestie. I hope you all have such an amazing, beautiful, fantastic day, and you get some cottage cheese and you get some Greek yogurt. Goodbye, everybody. Mwah.